Hello, everyone, and welcome to HowToBet.com or HowToBet.com podcast. I'm Daryl Sean along with Sean, the Genius Miller. And Sean, we're going to break down these two games here that are remaining. Two of these teams will go to the Super Bowl, and I guess there are a couple surprises to me in there. Because I thought the Packers were going to win it. I really did. They did not play well. So the Packers are out. I was wrong. But we will break down these two games. Remember to go to howtobet.com. Go to you watching on YouTube. Leave comments. If you want merchandise, ask for merchandise. We'll get it out to you. Comments can be good. They can be bad. We can deal with it. And helps us get a little better if they're not so great all the time. Also, go down the description box. Click on those links. That's where you're going to find Sean, the Genius Miller's previews, updated injury reports, odds, and exclusive offers to various sports books around the country. Get there early and often. There's a lot of great promotions out there. They're giving away some free money at times. So take advantage of that. And as I always say, if you have a gambling problem or think you do, get help. There's plenty of help out there, including 1-800-GAMBLER. So, Sean, there are two games remaining. AFC, you have Kansas City and Cincinnati. NFC, you have the NFC West teams, San Francisco at the Rams. Now, I know the Rams are trying to keep San Francisco fans from getting in by buying tickets, but on these secondary markets, you're not going to be able to stop them. They're going to get there. And last time they played, it seemed like they were playing. It sounded like they were playing in San Francisco.
It was half and half, I think, probably. And how many Rams fans are there, to be honest? In Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a weird sports town.
So the Rams have the chance to, for what we know, they are hosting the NFC Championship. They also could be hosting the Super Bowl. So that's a rare, never done before situation for the Rams if they can get this win.
Yeah, and this would be the second. It never happened before, and then this will be the second time in a row if
yes.
A team.
But never has a team hosted the AFC or the conference championship and then the Super Bowl. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. All right, so Kansas City -7 home against Cincinnati. This one is a Cincinnati team is on the up. They've been playing well. I was surprised how well they played defensively last week, and it was a banged up front. They took care of Tannehill. They took care of they held Henry in check for the most part. So I was a little surprised at that, and it's obviously everybody knows how good they are offensively. So Kansas City -7, is that total too many for you? Is that too many points to give away?
No. This is the fourth straight year that Kansas City is going to host this game. Not just play in the AFC Championship, host. Yeah. Which means that they've had one of the best records in football every year for 4 years. What's the one thing that's the one constant? Do you know that every single year they've played a different team?
Is that, yeah.
They played the Patriots. They lost in overtime to the Patriots. They beat the Titans. They beat the Bills last year, and then they're going to play the Bengals. So, these other teams, the Bills are on the rise. The Bengals are on the rise. The Titans are on the rise. The Patriots have Tom Brady. Like, they just play all the, and it's the same. The Kansas City is, they're close to, they lost in overtime.
Because their quarterback, even though
he's unbelievable.
Even though he didn't have his greatest season, he's unbelievable. When it came down to playoff time, he doesn't get frazzled. He's just cool as could be. He could throw from every different angle imaginable. He can run. You couldn't. They thought they had him. Boom, gone. So that is really the difference maker there.
Look, just think. Look at this quarterback. Right? Quarterback rating, or you can do these numbers and stuff like this. But quarterback rating since December 12th, the Raiders game, 139.2, 105.8, 135.1, 113.9, 93.9, 138.8 in the playoffs, 123.1 in the playoffs, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns, 404 yards, 5 touchdowns in the playoffs. The guy's unbelievable, unstoppable. He can't stop this guy.
No, he really can't.
Joe Burrow's going to have to go.
Hey, give him credit. He was on the floor a lot last week.
Yeah. No, he's a good player. Yeah. He's the next star. But once again, Josh Allen's a star. But they got past him 2 years in a row. Mahomes is he's a winner. last year in the Super Bowl, I just think, they were so beat up and they just got, the line and they fixed all that stuff. I don't see how you can make a point here for Cincinnati. I know they just beat them, but Kansas City's not losing this game at home.
So you go -7. Kansas City -7 here in this one. 7, it seems like it could be a lot of points, but I have to agree with you here. I'm going to go with Kansas City. Cincinnati, good season. Definitely a team that is up and coming, and Joe Burrow is terrific, and he's going to be terrific as long as he stays healthy. So, yes, I'm going to go with Kansas City -7 as well. In this one, I just think they're too tough. Who do you stop? How do you stop? Kelsey? We didn't even mention Kelsey.
Who do you stop? Who do you stop on that team?
And you have
How can you double anybody? Because you can't. Their weapons are everywhere.
Even the guys that you don't hear a lot about, Pringle and Hardman, they're all so fast, and I just think it's tough to stop them. And the running game is pretty good. Once they get it started, it's a pretty good running game. So I will also go with Kansas City. Now, the NFC Championship, the Rams are a 3-point favorite at SoFi over San Francisco. How do you see this one?
All right, so I know 6 games in a row, they can't ever win, blah, 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 blah. But I just think, I was asked last night on by the book bets, somebody said that the Chiefs weren't and the Rams, this is going to be a letdown spot in the championship game, a letdown spot in the championship game. So somebody actually went on TV and was talking about this. It's a letdown. How do you let down a game from the Super Bowl? I actually go the other way here. The Rams, they were up 27-3. They did everything but throw the game away.
Yes.
Tom Brady scores to tie it up. If that game goes to overtime, the Rams are done. 100% the Rams are out. And you're going to be talking about the Rams. There was a great meme, the Rams turning into like the Falcons logo, and then they were like, JK. Until those 2 plays. And they won. And you know what? To be honest, like at this point, like no one's even going to remember the collapse now. They're just going to remember Cooper Kupp making 2 unbelievable plays and the field goal. And I think sometimes in those games, it's almost like you get a second life and you're like, you know what? We should be out. Now we're going to be, because the Chiefs, same way. The Chiefs should be out. I mean, if the Bills make a stop, they're done. So they're like, you know what? That was our chance. Now we can't take it. So we're going to go, I'm going to go here with the Rams at home. I think the Rams brought all these players in. Von Miller was a beast. Their linebackers are beasts. Aaron Donald's unbelievable. I like the other guy on the outside. They're really good. They brought all these guys, Jalen Ramsey. They brought all these guys, Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp is unbelievable. They brought everybody in for this game and for the next game. I just don't think they have a small window. I don't think they're going to let it go. And I just think the Rams are going to win this game at home.
All right, well, so you like the Rams -3. I don't. I think San Francisco, I'm going to take them on the money line, but I certainly will take the 3 points as well. San Francisco has done well against the Rams. Shanahan has game planned nicely. He confused the heck out of Rodgers. If you could confuse Rodgers, I think you can confuse Stafford. I'm sure he's going to come up with things that Stafford hasn't seen him do in the first 2 games. I like their running game. I like Garoppolo is good enough to get this done as long as he's going to make that one mistake, always does. But if he can just get these short passing games, let Mitchell run, let Samuel run, I think they're going to be fine. He's got Kittle. I will take San Francisco in this one. I'll take +3. I also like them to win the game outright.
Leonard Floyd was the guy I was trying to think of. I mean, the guy, you got Leonard Floyd on one side, you got Von Miller on the other side, and you got Aaron Donald running up the middle. Yeah. I mean, they're freakish athletes. Yeah. I mean,
that's why you're going to see a lot of movement. They're a lot of motion offense. It's what he does. And I think, they know how to beat the Rams. They do it pretty much every time.
Look, I originally, and I'll say this, I originally was on we talked about this Sunday night. I originally was on the 49ers, and then I thought about it for a little bit. I'm a little bit concerned about the injuries. I think that the Trent Williams injury for me, the offensive tackle. I mean, he's one of the best offensive tackles in the game. Anybody you bring in isn't going to be as good as him. And when now you're going up against Von Miller, who was brought in for this, and Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald and stuff like that, I just really think this is going to be
fair assessment of this game for sure. And I know there's other bets you can make in this one. You have a couple prop bets, right?
Yeah. Look, we talked about this with Kansas City. I was going to kind of jump in, but I knew we were doing this. I actually think the line was -7. You asked if it was too much for me. The one in the parlay power play. Was the Chiefs -6.5 and over 53.5. That by itself is plus 255. I like that. I'm going to give you a couple more. I think Chiefs -9.5, plus 125. And I think I will even go, I think you could take Chiefs -12.5 at plus 180 and just hope, it's a 7-point game. They score a late touchdown like they did against the Bills last year to make it 38-24. Maybe you get that like backdoor cover. And I think, obviously during the game, these live game things, I think it's somewhere where you can kind of look at that and say, all right, maybe I'll take a chance on the Chiefs. If it's whatever, I don't know if they're up by 7, maybe the line is different. I think that's one thing to look at. I also think, Kansas, I really like the race to whatever points. Obviously I talk about that all the time. And on the How to Bet stories. So I like Kansas City first of 30 points here, -127. In the other game, I think, I like the Rams once again. So I'm going to go Rams first of 20 points.
At -139. So
yeah, definitely.
Couple prop bets for Sean. Hey, remember, you watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Hit the button. Free. You'll never be asked for any money. It's a subscribe. You just subscribe it, but it's you'll never have to pay a penny to watch us and watch our picks. It's right out there for you. So hit that subscribe button, like button, notification bell. Go down, leave comments. Go down further the description box. Click those links. That's where you're going to find Sean the Genius Miller's previews at HowToBet.com, along with injury updates, odds updates, and exclusive offers to various sports books around the country. When we come back, we'll do our over-unders, some player prop bets coming up, and the odds to win the championship. All after this, How to Bet. Go to HowToBet.com.
Stay tuned.